Oh my gosh, we're not doing the
Wait,
clicky
so
thing.
do you
Am I
want
not
it?
cool enough?
Do you want it?
Not really.
So then why are you complaining?
Because it's like you didn't offer it to me.
It's there. It's there for the taking. I don't offer it to anyone. They all ask for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man doesn't want it then. I don't want it. Can I have it? Are you ready?
It's been ready. We're ready. Are you ready?
Come on.
Today we have. What's your name?
I'm Liga.
You're Liga. Liga.
Liga Luv.
Liga Luv.
Standard.
How old are you?
23.
Wow.
I'm 23.
That's such a hard question.
No, because it's normally the next question as well. What's your name? How
Yeah,
old are you?
You know.
23.
What country are you from?
Cameroon.
Yeah, she's not Nigerian. So anyone that thinks she's Nigerian, she's not. Okay?
I'm from Cameroon and Congo.
Oh, that's interesting.
We don't talk about that.
And what do you currently do?
I work for the church.
So how do we know each other?
Apparently, we didn't meet at church, so...
Do you actually think we met at church?
See, I knew that I knew
hold
TJ
on.
and that.
See, I just feel like I met you in the library. I don't know. Yeah, oh my gosh.
Do you know why I know that it was church? Because I met TJ and Femi through debate competitions before I came to this church.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of how I ended up in church.
Okay.
And that was before I'd met you in the library.
But I feel like we forged a friendship in the library.
Yeah, it was definitely in the library.
Like,
it wasn't in church.
Yeah.
Like, we just knew each other
Yeah.
more. It felt like after meeting at church, it's like, okay, cool, you're someone I can actually speak to when I see you.
And ever since, she's just not gone away.
It was quite literally, Tenny and Dipsy to me were quite cool because they were proper academic. And I was like, oh, that's cute, you know? People
That's cute,
study.
You know? I'm finished. Yeah, because when we went to the library, we didn't just go for bands. We actually went to study and for the bands. Yeah. But more for the study.
Was I doing my GCSEs then?
Serious individuals.
Of course.
Okay, so how and when did you become a Christian?
So it was during that time when I came to the church. You know, you kind of go to church thinking that you are a Christian if you've been in church your whole life. And then they started to say, apparently, you have to do it for yourself. So I was like, right. Oh, I thought I was a Christian.
Yeah.
I was like, you look sure that I'm not. Then I got baptised in 2012. I came towards that step because my youth leader at the time, who's still a youth leader now, go you, Leo. Yeah, Leo was really instrumental in just making me feel like part of the church. He was really good at the outreach stuff. So yeah, I got integrated.
Yeah.
And then I got baptised.
So what made you take that step to say, do you know what, I'm going to take this seriously and I'm accepting Jesus?
At that point, it was obedience because I understood that what I thought I was, it wasn't like it was taken away from me. I didn't feel any less, but it was like, okay, now that you are, this is a public declaration of who you are and obedience to what you've been told to do. Like, it was literally that simple.
Yeah.
So it's not like anything got any better. Well, it did get better, obviously. Life continued to get better, but nothing got better or worse in that instance. It was just me being obedient.
And so since then, how would you say your faith journey has been?
It's been lit.
Is it?
It's been lit. It's been interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm interesting. So I don't know, I'm kind of like, not kind of, I am an all or nothing person. So the faith journey went like this. My love for God
just down.
didn't, but my dedication to him went down the toilet.
Yeah.
Mostly because I decided to just do my own thing.
I gotta go my own way.
I just felt like doing my own thing. Like I've never pretended anything else. I just wanted to do whatever I felt like doing.
Yeah.
And I felt like doing a lot of things. I felt like I wasn't terrible, but I wasn't who I should be, basically. And that was the problem. So it never felt quite right but I was doing what everyone else seemed to be doing, so that was cool for me. Everyone else seemed to like be enjoying this freedom.
Yeah.
So I was enjoying freedom.
Yeah.
So that for me was a dip.
At what point was that though? So if you gave your life in 20...
Gave my life in 2012,
Yeah.
and then the minute I got taken away, no, didn't get taken away, but the minute I decided that I was going to uni,
Yeah.
and I didn't get into the uni that I wanted, which was ironically the uni that Tenny and Ditzy went to, because I wanted to stay in London, and they were the best for the course I wanted.
Yeah.
As soon as I ended up going away, everything just went downhill because I didn't want to be there. So
what year was this?
So that was, what year did I go to uni? 2014, yeah. So yeah, went away, wasn't serving in the church anymore, which I'd been doing from the minute I joined. Didn't find anywhere else because I just thought, well, nowhere else compares. I'll just do this thing at home or whatever.
Yeah.
Made friends, it was nice and stuff, but then I was just living the normal university life, and for all intents and purposes, it's not really a life that glorifies God, like just being honest. So yeah, just started to do my own thing, and I didn't do it quietly either because I didn't enjoy uni. But I wanted to make a lot of money because I thought, let me just do something that I actually enjoy, which is events management. So I went into, I hate partying as well.
You hate partying?
Can't stand it.
You hate partying?
No, it's actually dead.
Events management
See,
and promoting.
But this is my logic, yeah?
Yeah.
I hated partying. So I decided if I have to be in these places, because this is where my friends were.
Yeah.
So I thought, if I have to be here, I'm going to make a lot of money from this. So if I ever went somewhere, it's because it was free. And I made sure it was free for my friends as well. So, yeah. If it wasn't my own event, I was there for free, basically. And that's kind of how it went, which caused a lot of confusion because you end up in the spotlight. So it was interesting. It was interesting. I was living what people would call their best life.
At the time, did you think it was your best life though?
At the time, did I enjoy it? No, it just seemed like something to do. Like, I loved being with my friends. Don't get me wrong, we made amazing memories. It was hilarious. But it was like, I also make fantastic memories with my friends in church, and I had done prior to. So it's not like I was gaining anything else that I'd never had before.
Yeah.
I was just making the best out of what was a crap situation. In hindsight, I was actually making things a lot worse for myself. Just moving further from God, but at the time it just seemed cool. I was getting rich.
That's a big thing for people. That's a thing that tends to draw people away.
And it was hard in church to be the real me, which is the person that wants to hear the gospel. Because my friends would know, I've always had a moral compass. So it's not like I definitely fell off. I was about to say, it's not like I didn't fall off. I fell off. I fell off.
Sometimes you got to call a spade, innit?
Life is life. Like, I don't really care. I fell off, but I never didn't know what was right.
Yeah.
And I went to like the church events and things like that, and I had all those kinds of friends. And
were you going to church in London or in?
So I barely came back here. Like,
I barely saw you.
I barely came back here, and I went to Wednesday service there. I hadn't found a church like ours. There were some churches, but they were very heavily African, heavily Pentecostal. That's just not my vibe. Like, I'm here for all people. I like mixed churches. In the end, I found one in the very, very, very end, but then my friends weren't going regularly. So then I didn't end up going. That's actually a pants excuse, but it's actually what people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a rubbish excuse.
Because I didn't go to uni outside of London, how hard is it for a person that's gone to another city and you're trying to find a church? Because it tends to be, I hear that when people go, they don't settle and they don't tend to find a church. Like, what is the reason that you think so many people, like including yourself, just never really settle anywhere else? I mean, some people do, don't get me wrong, but it tends to be the narrative of, I just didn't like anything there.
I think the honest truth is, you don't want to be alone. And following your faith when you first get somewhere means you have to start looking for a church, and that means you're not looking for friends, which is what everyone goes to uni doing at first, like freshers and all of that good stuff. You make your connections, and then you go where your connections go. And my connections they weren't going to church. That doesn't mean they weren't nice people, but that wasn't their priority, and obviously it wasn't mine either. So that's just it. If you want to find a church, you have to be alone. But then obviously if you find a church, you find a community. But that's just not how you think at the time.
So if your journey went like this, went down the toilet as you describe it,
Flushed.
where would you say that it is now and what got you there?
So I dropped out of uni, and then I kind of was working out whether I had to finish uni. And when I say had to, there's what I want to do, and then there's what God would like me to do. And I say like to because I don't have to do it. That's just the fact of the matter. And I truly feel like I'm meant to finish uni. But I dropped out, came back to London, and came back into church. And it's not like I'd ever left here, but I'd left the city. So when I came back, I got to come back into church, and that's when things just started going back up because I was refocused. It wasn't easy because I am so self-aware. So I was like, okay, cool. I've actually just been a crap human being for a long time. And then now I feel like all eyes are on me. Meanwhile, everyone's minding their business. But when you feel like an outsider, you feel like people are watching you for what you haven't done right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it started to go up, but slowly, because I felt very self-conscious about being forward about my love for Christ at first.
Did you feel like people weren't going to believe you or something?
It's literally that. I didn't feel like anyone would think that my actions or my understandings are genuine. I still feel that way,
Yeah.
if I'm perfectly honest, because I feel like I'm so far from where I was before, but I still feel like I will always feel like the person I was. And in one sense, it's positive because you're meant to be humble and always remember that.
Yeah.
But in another sense, it cripples me because I feel like people are... I feel like I can't express myself too much because people will not think it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing to like try to overcome that? Because surely that, not that it blocks anything with you and God, because God knows your heart and you know that God knows your heart, but I feel like that can affect like you being able to freely express yourself and your love for Christ can affect like just being an evangelist essentially.
Yeah. It makes me... How do I work it out? I kind of just have to be more of myself. Every step I take forward, people get to see more of the real me.
Yeah.
And it's like, bruh, when you can see the real me, after that, I can't pretend to be anything else. So if you don't like the real me, even though the real me, I feel like I'm doing the best I can for God, then that's what could hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of trying to step really slowly when really I just want to run into it.
Yeah.
So essentially, I'm trying to run. I'm trying.
You should start
It's like a
running.
cautious run.
You should start running.
It's more like a light jog at the moment.
Don't want to break a sweat just yet.
Yeah, like kind of. But yeah, I feel like I'm just going to end up running because at the end of the day, I don't really care. I just, I don't.
To be fair, it's not about what anybody thinks of you. It's not about anybody's opinion of you. It's just you want to live sold out for God. And if people don't like it or don't think it's genuine, it's not your business.
It's not really anything I can do. Yeah. But the enemy likes to use that against me because I am a... When people say people person, I think they mean like they like to socialize, but I like to care for people. So I feel like if you don't think I'm genuine, the truth is, if you don't trust someone or believe someone, then you're unlikely to want their help or to think their help can be useful to you. So I don't want to be a hindrance to me being able to be used by God. So I see it that way, but I feel like that's also the enemy trying to use that to make it seem as though people won't see me as useful.
Yeah.
So I try to hold myself back or not be real about my mistakes.
Yeah.
But there's something that really pushes me to just be really open about my mistakes.
Yeah.
A bit more open than I think people would like or my mum would like.
So, what would you say fearless faith has looked like in your life?
Being less of the me that I created and being what God created me to be, quite literally. And that's it, yeah. Just being less of whatever I think I should be and just being.
Just being.
Yeah. Because if I just be, then that's what God wants. He just wants me to be. Like, if I just focus on him, everything happens as it does.
Yeah.
I go where he tells me to go.
Yeah.
I have a feeling of who I should speak to.
Yeah.
I do less of what I want and more of what he wants. Yeah.
So being more vulnerable and like relinquishing control.
Literally letting go. And I'm a control freak.
You are. You are. We both are, which is why like sometimes it could be like
Yeah, like, I triple check things. Like I must irritate people. It's very good for planning, for planning events, but
Just in everyday life.
in everyday life, it's not needed.
Yeah.
It's not
At
needed.
least you know. It's
Yeah.
good to, it's always good to just know. Yeah. Okay, so what gifts do you feel like God has given you, and how do you feel as though they relate to like the purpose and the calling on your life, or and just what you want to do in life?
I love to sing. So that's a gift. I don't actually do anything
You
with
really
it.
can. Oh, you just sing randomly.
I
That's
actually
what
just
you, that's
sing.
what you do
That's
with it.
yeah.
You just make noise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice noise, but it's noise nonetheless.
Okay, good. Before people think I can't sing, you know, I can hold a note. Yeah, I sing. Events management, I think, which has turned into the gift of administration, which is actually
It's a real gift,
it's
man.
actually a gift.
Powerful. You can't take like that out of anybody that God has put that in. It's just impossible.
It's actually,
Can't
even if
become
they decided
disorganized.
to make me the chef here, I would still
It
do
will still,
admin.
yeah, of course.
So yeah,
You need to know how many cans of baked beans are in the cupboard.
quite literally,
important.
I would do inventory every day. Admin, it's key. So that's definitely a gift. If you don't think it's a gift, then now you know.
Yeah.
If you're very, very organized, you could have a gift.
Yeah.
Administration, the gift of prophecy is a really cool one
Yeah.
that the Lord bestowed upon me. I don't really understand. I genuinely don't understand why. Me of all people. I don't get it. Because he never tells me anything. Well, you know, he gives me a feeling of comfort because my prophecy comes in impressions. So I just feel things. Sometimes I get images, which is pretty gangster. But I literally feel a whole thing. So I can feel a paragraph, but I can't tell you that God said it or whatever. I just felt it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't really know why, because it's not like I can really like tell whether uni's going to be worth it, or you know why
Uni's really
I'm
the
doing
bane
this.
of your life, isn't it?
It's actually it's the thorn in my side, and obviously we're blessed to have thorns in our sides because it reminds us of our weakness. So
Yeah.
thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much.
You seem so like.
I'm so grateful.
No, but it's true. We all have that thing, and yeah, for you
Yeah,
it is uni.
it's literally university. I'm 23.
No, but uni has just shown God's faithfulness because there was just many times where it's like, is this gonna happen? But God,
Is this really happening?
it's really happening.
My husband can come and collect me before I graduate. My whole husband.
Yeah, let him. He can be in the journey with you. You know, he can be in the trials with you.
He can proofread my
You
essays.
can proofread your essays.
Can
If you're
proofread my
good at
essays.
proofreading essays, you
Enough money to pay for the
earn
wedding.
enough money to pay for the wedding.
I'm joking, I work full time. Man's got peas still.
Yeah, but it's always nice to not have to spend your own money.
It is actually. Yeah, come through. Not trying to block my blessings. Come
Amen,
through.
amen,
Come
amen.
through.
Okay, so you have a YouTube channel,
I have a channel.
and you have a lash business.
I do.
You do.
I do. That was a happy accident.
Expand.
So
As you can see, you don't see her without lashes. Flutter them.
I actually am always wearing lashes.
Always.
What happened? When I really needed another income, like, you know how I wanted to have side hustles? Having just one job in 2019, I don't feel like it really makes sense because we're all so talented. So do something with it. And then I thought, I'm going to learn a different trade.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, I wear these on my face all the time. Everyone likes them on their face all the time. Well, not Dipsy. Yeah, actually not Dipsy. Yeah, the person sitting next to me.
Hate it so much, but it's alright. It's cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then someone was training to do it while I was thinking about it at the time, and they needed a model. So I thought, I'm going to go and experiment. I'll be the guinea pig because I want to see how this goes. And then, yeah, saw the whole experience, blah, blah, blah. And then my amazing friends, for my birthday, decided to invest in my vision and my dream. And they bought me my lash bed. They bought me my light.
Nice.
Yeah, for my
All
birthday.
my friends.
They got me, yeah, so they invested. And then I started taking clients. And God ended up using that because their channel's been on hold for a long time. Had a chat with one of the pastors after I did a series. And I was like, cool, yeah, I actually want to show the me at a point on my channel, I was recording being me, and then God was showing me new layers of me, and it was like, okay, I have nothing to say to people anymore, because God is speaking to me, so I need to have time for me. And then did the Lash thing because I felt like I needed more money. Then he was like, okay, cool, now we can use this. So he ended up using that, and you'll see how eventually when I get into editing and putting it on the channel. But yeah, so I have the Lash business and I have the Lash page, and that was even nerve-wracking. I was sitting with Dupe when I was doing my branding, and it was like, it was pink. And I was like, I'm not that guy, man. Anymore. It's not pink. If you go check out Lash Luv on Instagram, it's not pink. I just didn't want it to be pink, and I thought people aren't going to like it. I have this people thing. It's a problem.
Yeah. People do determine a lot.
On people. And then it's branding, obviously. So I thought I want it to be what people want. So I thought pink, pretty girls. Then I thought, but I'm me. And everything I do is for a purpose beyond me. God ended up taking it over anyway, if you look at it.
Yeah. It's not about you anymore.
Yeah. So it was never meant to be. It's an interesting guy. He's actually an interesting guy. I'm baffled.
All right. What advice would you give to 16-year-old Liga?
I was a waste man. I was.
Okay.
Because that's when I first let a boy confuse my life. I've always been very sensible. Weird, but sensible. Yeah, the boys in Enfield used to call me Stush.
Didn't they called us all Stush?
They did.
Really and truly.
But I didn't smile. I never got a boyfriend. I didn't see or date anyone.
You're explaining my
I didn't talk to anyone. That's literally what it was. And they tried to make me feel bad about it. But I was like, because you're all so mature that you're all perfect candidates that I would love to date. Like, they were all just, I was going to say jobless, but obviously you were actually, everyone was jobless.
Everyone was jobless.
Everyone was jobless at that age. Yeah, it's not like you could legally have a job. So we were all, just children. I was thinking, why is everyone doing this? Like, I was actually a major nerd, and reading was that was life. Reading is still life, by the way. Pick up your books.
Amen.
But yeah, so that was me. And then somebody that came looking sensible. Oh my God.
That's the thing, they always come looking sensible.
He looked sensible. He was, and the older guy. It's so jokes because I was literally just DMing him right now. What a throwback. Because, life is altered and changed, and I've forgiven him.
Amen.
But yeah, he was older, and an actual sensible friend vouched for him. He turned out not to be so sensible after a while. But yeah, vouched for him, and then we started dating, and we dated for 3 years. And that was a relationship that just didn't add up. It just didn't add up. But everyone, all of my best friends, actually, there's 10 of us from St. Anne's. We all actually got into long-term relationships. I remember that, actually. At 16, all of us. So what I would tell myself, that's the point. What I'll tell myself is God's standard over any standard.
Amen.
And that's just it.
Tell them again.
That's it. When anything that's ever gone wrong in my life is because I compromised the standard. And that's literally it. I can't even stick to my own standards, but at least if I hold to God's accountability in it. So yeah, God's standard over any standard is what I'll tell my 16-year-old self.
Amen. All right, and finally, what is your favourite Bible verse and why? Or verses,
I'm not really good at remembering Bible verses, so perfect love casts out all fear is my favourite verse. It's unfortunate, I can't even tell you where it's from. I feel like it's John 4:12. Funny story.
It might be John.
John 4:12 is what I was getting tattooed on myself.
Why is that a funny story?
Because I saw it and then I was like, this is cool. But then I got 1 John 4:12.
1 John 4:12. John 4:12 isn't that?
Oh, well, it's still in the word, so that's all that matters, really. It's in the Bible, I didn't make it up. Perfect love casts out all fear. Promise you it's in there. 1 John 4:18.
You're nearly there.
There are no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. Yeah, I don't know what version that is, but yeah. Yeah, perfect love casts out all fear, because every step I've ever taken that was positive was because I remembered where I was in God and the kingdom. And I say it as if it's blasé, but it's just a fact. The fact is God over everything. Amen. God loves you. Yeah. And when you believe it and when you understand it, you feel like a superhero. And anytime you forget that or you feel drawn or distracted by other people, that's when you start to fear and doubt. That's when you hold on to the wrong relationship. That's when you hold on to the wrong job. That's when you don't take leaps of faith. But perfect love, i.e. God's love, casts out any kind of fear, expels any kind of worry.
Amen.
So yeah, I love it because it's true.
Amen. So, Liga.
W for winner. Does it look like a W though?
No,
Are you...
it doesn't look like a W. So, yeah, it's been wonderful having you.
It's been painless.
It's been, yeah, what did you think it was going to be?
Painful.
Why?
I don't know, I haven't done this in a long time.
Well, is there anything you want to say to the people then?
Thanks for coming, guys. With mad trill, don't take drugs.
And with that, bye.